All right, y'all, so this is another The More That You Know video. Let's take a listen.
For your scalp. I am Bree Craddock, a pediatric dermatology nurse practitioner, and an awesome one at that. And I happen to be Black, so I love talking about Black culture and how it merges with pediatric dermatology. I had no clue what was in hair grease until I became a pediatric dermatology nurse practitioner. Blue Magic, Dixie Peach, iconic on a Sunday before you go to church, getting your scalp grease. It's just honestly like a ritual. But let's talk science real quick and unpack what is truly in these hair grease. I was honestly shocked when I found that the main ingredients that are used in these grease are petrolatum, lanolin, lecithin, mineral oil. These are all found pretty much in Vaseline, Aquaphor, CeraVe healing ointment, Cetaphil healing ointment. Petrolatum is just an occlusive that helps form a protective barrier. Lanolin is found in Aquaphor, which is a waxy substance derived from sheep. Mineral oil is derived from petrolatum, and lecithin is a phospholipid ingredient sourced from eggs or soybeans, and it's also an emulsifier, so it helps oil and water mix. Lastly, it contains colorants, which make it that blue color or green color or orange color. They also have fragrances, which are not usually found in the Aquaphors or Vaselines. So honestly, if you wanted to get a very cheap grease, all you have to get is Vaseline. The more you know, you know. Also, it's so admirable that our ancestors kind of knew what they were doing without having the science or vocabulary to really discuss what they were doing. So listen to your grandmas when they tell you to grease your scalp.
Very, very, very interesting. I never knew that, but it makes sense because when you do look at the back of like Blue Magic, I never used the Dixie type of grease or anything like that. I've never even heard of that. But the fact that it's all this stuff is pretty much similar to Vaseline, which is petroleum jelly, for a fraction of the price, makes a lot of sense. The only thing I can say the difference between probably that and like Blue Magic, other than like the color, I would say that Blue Magic, I love it. I love the smell, almost like a menthol smell. It just feels like it's like opening up your pores. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? You know how minty scents are. Like when it comes to brushing your teeth, it just feels like fresh and airy. I feel the same way when it comes to Blue Magic because it kind of feels like minty and airy. And that's one thing I actually really like about it compared to just using regular like grease, because of the minty airy. But scientific wise, it is very interesting that petroleum is like, I mean, when you are greasing scalp, it does give a petroleum jelly like feel, you know? So that's not really surprising that it's that. So very interesting. I just thought y'all should know.